Hi, everyone. This is Jennifer Tarle from Tarle Speech with your lunchtime live lesson today. Welcome, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend. For those of you in the US, I hope you're not too tired. We changed the clocks in the US, so at least for me, I'm a little groggy. I'm a little sleepy. I'm not at my best for sure, but we're going to make it a great day and we are going to have a great class. So, the way this works, since we are live, is that I am going to do a presentation on our lesson today, which is on something called a glide sound or a semi-vowel. These are sounds that are consonant sounds, but they do have some characteristics of vowel sounds. And so we're going to talk about four sounds: the R sound, the L sound, ooh, the W sound, ooh, and the Y sound, yeah. All right, it looks like we are working. If everything is okay on your end, go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the chat or a hello. I'm going to type hello here to see if we are all working. All right, so once I do the presentation, I will check back periodically into the chat to see if anyone has any questions. And then at the end, when we have a little bit more time, we will go ahead and just open it up for some questions and answers. I am also in the process of scheduling some more classes, and I am planning on doing just a general question and answer some Monday soon. Maybe talk about some of the videos that we've had for the past month and just answer any questions that you may have. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. So here are the sounds for today are, and this is the phonetic transcription: L, W, and yeah. So again, L, U, W, W, Y, Y, and R, I made a chart for today, and we're going to talk about what your lips are doing, what your tongue is doing, and then what the airflow is doing. And I'm also going to talk about some common mistakes that I may hear and see. So here are the four sounds. If you're listening to this as a podcast, feel free to jump over to my YouTube channel at Tarle Speech, and you can see the slides. For some people, that visual is very, very helpful. So for the L sound, let's talk about the lips. We're going to talk about the lips for all of these sounds, and then I'm going to demonstrate them. So for the L, your lips are open and pulled back. For the W, they're going to be puckered. For the R, square and tense. And for the ya, open and pulled back. All right. So for the L, I'm going to share my screen so you can see my face. Okay. When I say open and pulled back, your lips, your mouth is just going to be slightly open. And your lips, the sides of your lips are going to be back a little bit, almost like you're going to smile. You do not want to pucker. So for the L, your lips are like this. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Your lips, excuse me, are also like this for the ya sound. Ya, ya, ya. For the W, your lips are going to be puckered. Ooh, ooh. A pucker is sort of like a kiss. Ooh, ooh. So puckered for the W, ooh. Pulled back for that L, ooh, or for that yeah sound. Okay, so that's the difference between pucker versus pulled back. If you struggle with the L sound, one big thing to try is that pull those lips back and try not to pucker. For my students who will say a vowel instead of an L at the end of the word, that is key right there. Pull those lips back. That helps a lot. For the R, I like to describe the lips as square and tense. Okay, so let me say the R sound. You can see my lips look like a little square, a little rectangle. They are square and tense because they are not puckered. It is not this. Ooh, it is more square. And then the L would be ugh. So again, way pulled back for the L. Ugh. In the middle, square and tense, and then puckered, ooh, for that W. They're also pulled back for that yeah sound. All right, so that is the lips. Now let's move into what is the tongue doing? Okay, for the L, tip of your tongue is touching the back of your top front teeth. Very specifically, where the teeth meet the skin on the roof of your mouth. For the W, your tongue is just neutral. It's just hanging out in the middle of your mouth. For the R, you have a choice. I tell my students, say the sound and then figure out where your tongue is, right? So some people flip the tip of the tongue back. Some people point it down. The thing to remember is the back of your tongue will always be engaged. For the y sound, the back of your tongue is engaged. Your whole tongue is high. And here's the but it is not touching. The tip of your tongue is not touching your teeth, but the back of your tongue may be touching the inside of the teeth. All right, so let's take a look at what this looks like. Okay, so for the L, I'm touching the back of my top front teeth, that alveolar ridge where the skin meets the teeth. Ugh. Lips pulled back, tongue touches. Ugh. Like. And now for the W, ooh, your tongue is just flat in the middle of your mouth. There's really not a whole lot of places for your tongue to go because your lips are puckered. And so that's why I teach lip positions often, because a lot of times for my students, if you get your lips in the right place, your tongue corrects itself because there aren't many places for your tongue to go because your mouth is kind of small. Now, for the R, I say my R with the tip of my tongue pointed down. Some people flip the tip of that tongue back. I've learned how to do that. It's not natural for me, but you can point your tongue down or flip your tongue back. All right. For the yeah. The back of my tongue is high. It is close to the roof of my mouth, and in my case, my tongue is touching the back of the teeth, just the back of the tongue. The tip of my tongue is not touching the front teeth. It is slightly pointed down. Yeah. And it's high and it's flat. So that is for the tongue. For the airflow, excuse me, the air is just going to continue out of your mouth. And then I have some examples: light, white, right, and yes. I couldn't think of a word that was a minimal pair that had that Y sound. So again, we have light with the L, light, white with the W, white, and then right with the R, right. And then we're just going to say the word yes. And you can see I'm not touching my teeth so that my mouth is just open. Okay. Any questions about any of that before we move on to practice? Fluent American, thank you for being here. I was supposed to be on his show this weekend, and unfortunately, my house was hit by this terrible cold, and I had laryngitis last week. That's really tough for someone who talks for a living. So we'll reschedule. He does a live stream every Saturday. And you can go ahead and catch that. And if you're interested, he will even give you some feedback live on his class. Okay, so it looks like I'm doing much better, but you can see I still have a little bit of this congestion. So it's just that time of year, everyone, cold season. All right, so no questions. Let's go ahead and move on and talk about spelling quickly. For the L sound, we spell it with an L, just the letter L or two L's. So at the end of the word, when we have two L's, we're just going to say one. So we have the word light and well. Light and well. I get a lot of questions about this light L and dark L. I suggest, especially for those of you who are really going for clear speaking, if that's your goal, if your goal is just clear speaking, just think about touching your tongue to the back of your top front teeth for that L. You don't have to get fancy. So a light L is a really specific L where you're touching your teeth, like in the word light. The dark L happens at the end of the word, typically. And when people say the light L, even native English speakers, sometimes when they say that dark L and it's too dark, it sounds way more like a vowel and it gets confusing for the listener, especially when you're in a meeting or you're on the telephone. So my tip is always to go for that clear speaking, not necessarily for being super fancy. And trying to do all of these different L's. It's hard enough thinking about what to do while you're translating and thinking about what to say, and you're trying to think about what kind of an L is this. Of course, if that's for you and you really want to have some nuance to your speaking, by all means, learn both of these. But the dark L is that L that we hear in the word call. And for me, I actually would overdo the dark L with my accent from when I was growing up. And it almost sounds to some people like I'm saying caw, CAW, like what a bird says, caw, caw, instead of call. So I actually really overdo my L's and make that light L a lot of times, even when I don't need to, even though I know how to make that dark L. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox on that light versus dark L. Excuse me. How do we spell the W sound? And we spell the W sound with the letter W in the word wife. We have a digraph, which is that WH in Y. Just a tip for those of you who need some more help with spelling. WH can also be pronounced as an H sound in the word who, but in most cases, WH we see in Y. And then QU, we are going to have that W sound in there, like in the word quit. So we're going to say two sounds there, the K and the W for those letters Q and U for quit. And then the letter O, like in the word one, can be a W sound. For the R, today we're talking about that R more as a consonant sound. So we're only going to be talking about it at the beginning of words. Spelling for the R, vowels especially, is really, really difficult. There are lots of exceptions and variations. And so for our case today, for R, the true R, we're going to talk about the beginning of words. We can spell it as an R in run, a WR, another digraph, as in right, and an RH as in diarrhea. Okay. So I'm looking here at the comments, and someone is saying they prefer to flip back the tongue when it comes to an R. In regards to the R sound, I think the biggest key is do what works for you. So it's a very natural choice for most people, whether the tongue is down or flipped back. So just make sure that you figure out which one works for you and then go with that. Um, that being said, for my students, especially my Japanese students, I really recommend, if possible, tip down for the R as opposed to flipped back, because a big mistake with my Japanese speakers is R and L is confused because you touch the teeth you touch the tongue to the teeth for that R accidentally, and we touch the tongue to the teeth for the L. All right. We have one more spelling. We have that ya sound, and we have the Y as in yes, a U like in user, an I as an onion, and an EU as in eulogy. All right. So now we are going to go ahead and get into some practice. So before that, some questions again. Yes, I am from the East Coast. I was born and raised south of Pittsburgh in the Monongahela Valley in the steel and coal region of the area. And we have a very distinct accent here in Western Pennsylvania. I think it's so fascinating and interesting. There's actual some websites, some people do some research and study it because it's just in this one little area. Someday I'll have to do a discussion about that. I find it fascinating and so interesting, and I love the accent. Um, and let's see, right? Yes, WRITE and RIGHT. They do have the same pronunciation. We also have this spelling, right, which is from like a last name that we would see in English. Fluent American, are you from Monroeville? I am not from Monroeville. I am from south of there, like kind of in between Pittsburgh and West Virginia is where I grew up. Okay. But I say I'm from Pittsburgh. All right. Excuse me again. I'm so sorry, everyone. Okay. So now we're going to get into some practice. The way we are going to do practice is I am just going to say all of these words for you, and then I will make the words bigger and you can repeat after me and then say the entire list all together. If you are listening to the podcast, you can jump on over to YouTube and see these words on the screen if that is helpful for you. All right. So let's go ahead and just listen. Here are the words: like, late, line, little, laser, halls, collar, elbow, salad, skeleton, bowl, while, mobile, spell, and my name, Tarle. All right, I'm going to make these words bigger and repeat after me. Like, late, line, little, laser. Like, late, line, little, laser. And in the middle of word, halls, collar, elbow, salad, skeleton. Halls, collar, elbow, salad, skeleton. And at the end of a word, bowl, while, mobile, spell, Tarle. Bowl, while, mobile, spell, Tarle. All right. Now we're going to move on to the W sound. The W sound technically does not happen at the end of a word in English. So we are just going to talk about the W at the beginning and in the middle of words. So big tip for you, the word law and saw, we don't pronounce that last W. Law and saw. All right. So just listen. One, once, went, while, water, snowing, power, away, someone, require. And repeat after me. One, once, went, while, water, one, once, went, while, water. Snowing, power, away, someone, require. Someone just asked, where is the W in require? I would spell it like this, and that is where the W is after the K. Require. All right. So repeat the whole list one more time. Snowing, power, away, someone, require. All right, now we are moving on. A little more practice. We have R, and we're only going to do R at the beginning. I'm going to do some vowel classes soon. And the vowels, the R vowel, that's going to be one whole class because there are so many variations of the R vowel. If you struggle with the R sound in English, that is one sound just to master because it's such a high frequency sound. We use it as a consonant, we use it with vowels, we use it in blends. If you can just master that R sound and nothing else, it will improve your clarity so much. And it's only one thing really to think about. All right, so let's do R at the beginning. Square tense lips. Don't touch your teeth with the tip of your tongue down or flipped back. Here we go. Just listen. Run, race, river, rules, retreat. All right. Run, race, river, rules, retreat. Run, race, river, rules, retreat. Okay, we have one more to get through. We have the y sound. My biggest tip here is don't touch your teeth with the tip of that tongue. A lot of my students will say Jace, Jew, instead of yes, you. And the mistake is you touch your teeth with the tip of your tongue. Don't touch your teeth with the tip of your tongue. Keep that tongue tip down and back a little bit. And you will be able to say these sounds. So just go ahead and listen. Yes, you, yellow, unusual, user. I'm sorry, usual, user. Onion, mayor, W, million, lanyard. All right, and repeat after me. Yes, you, yellow, usual, user. Yes, you, yellow, usual, user. Onion, mayor, W, million, lanyard. Onion, mayor, W, million, lanyard. Excuse me. Okay. How did you do? Did everyone do all right? Now we are going to move into working on some sentences. So I'm going to go ahead and read the sentences for you, and then you will repeat after me. Grandma Rose really likes to run. Lily likes lettuce with lemon dressing. When will Will watch the World Cup? And yes, the mayor makes $1 million a year. Okay, repeat after me. Grandma Rose really likes to run. Grandma Rose really likes to run. Lily likes lettuce with lemon dressing. Lily likes lettuce with lemon dressing. When will Will watch the World Cup? When will Will watch the World Cup? Yes, the mayor makes $1 million a year. Yes, the mayor makes $1 million a year. Okay, how did you do, everyone? Everybody ready for the big finale? We're going to do some tongue twisters. All right. Luke Luck likes lakes. If two witches would watch two whales, which witch would watch which whales? Round and round the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran. And you know New York, you need New York, you know you need unique New York. All right, we're going to take it slowly and then we'll get faster. You can do it. Here we go. Let's end on a fun note. Number 1, Luke Luck likes lakes. Luke Luck likes lakes. Luke Luck likes lakes. If two witches would watch two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches would watch two watches, which witch would watch which watch? If two witches would watch two watches, which witch would watch which watch? Round and round, the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran. Round and round the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran. Round and round the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran. You know New York. You need New York. You know you need unique New York. You know New York. You need New York. You know you need unique New York. Okay, everyone, how did you do? Neon Soul, you cracked me up. And he said, or she said, oh my days. Yes, those were particularly challenging today, but I know you all can do it. And they are also kind of fun. We are finished with the lesson for today, but I do see a few questions. Number one, do you pronounce dog? Okay. I'm going to tell you, I pronounce both of these phonetic symbols the same. I just say ah. I don't do the aw. So I kind of am somewhere in the middle. And so I would say the tip for you, if you are an English learner, would be open your mouth for the sound. The mistake that I typically hear is I hear people say Doug or duck, not dog. So, how do you fix that? Let's talk about that. So, if you see the word dog, I'm going to open my mouth. Dog. If you don't, it'll sound like Doug or duck. Okay. Same thing for the word bought and bought. I pronounce them exactly the same. Caught and caught, exactly the same. Most people will understand that. I would say almost all people will understand that, even if in that region of the US they pronounce those words differently. So if you're going for speaking clarity, think of that ah, that short O sound is an open vowel, ah. If you open your mouth and you get the tip of your tongue down low and the back of your tongue pulled high up, that's going to go a very long way. So no difference there. Okay. I do have a big playlist of words that are homophones, at least that I pronounce as homophones. I do get some English speakers who were born and raised here giving me the business about not teaching the variations. But I do think as long as you are just making that open ah vowel, that's going to be very helpful. Okay. So while I'm looking for this playlist, I'm going to tell you how to pronounce this word doggedness. 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 All right. And then here is the playlist for the homophones, which I have. And I do post a new one of those every Tuesday. It's my 2 for Tuesday because it's two words that are spelled differently, but they are pronounced exactly the same way. So, this is an awesome way not only to work on your pronunciation, but also to work on your listening and to learn some new vocabulary. So, I put this in the chat. That is the homophone lesson. I also have a heteronym series that is running on Fridays. And heteronyms are words that are spelled the same, but pronounced differently. And that is particularly awesome for those of you who are struggling with syllable and word stress. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat as well. This is a really, really great way to practice that too. All right. All right. And then here is the heteronym playlist. So when you go to my YouTube channel or to any YouTube channel for that fact, if you go to the home screen of the person that you're watching, if you're on a video, you click the name that's underneath the video, it takes you to their homepage. And there you can find all of my playlists, all of my lessons. And it's a really great place to search for something that you're looking for. Okay. Order and older. That is such a great question. We are going to really focus on the vowel here. I'm sorry, not the vowel, the consonant. So we have order and then older. So we're not touching the teeth for that R, and then touching the teeth for that L. Order, older. And then you have odor, where you're just going to pucker. So again, we have, put this in the chat. This one is odor, odor. And then we have older, and I'm going to touch my teeth, older. And then I have order, where my tongue is going to pop down, or flip back, depending on how you make your R. Order. So again, odor, older, and order. All right. I actually have a video on that. I'll put that in the chat for you. So this is for older and order. And there is the link for that. And then I think I also have one for odor. Yeah, this is a little bit of an older one. And this is for older and odor. All right. Okay. I think that's it. We are out of time. We actually ran a little over. Thanks everyone for hanging in there and staying. This has been really fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Big tip just to wrap up. Touch the teeth for the L. Ooh, lips are pulled back. Tongue is neutral. Lips are puckered for the W. Ooh, square tense lips. Tip down or back for the R. And then for the ya sound, that Y, lips pulled back. The tongue is high in the back and it is not touching the teeth in the front at all. Okay, good luck, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of the support. And I hope you have an amazing week. And I will see you all tomorrow for a homophone lesson. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.